Okay, good morning. This is part two. So we're going to be now looking at Bayer and also looking at that food company. So let's have a look at Upside Foods. We know who they are. Who is the owner of Upside Foods? Dr. Uma Valeti, whoever they are. What affiliation do they have with Bill Gates? Okay, it comes up straight away. I don't even have to. Bill Gates backs lab-grown meat startup foods, and that was back in April 22. Okay, wow. So does he own it? He backed them, he doesn't own them, but obviously he's probably a large shareholder, and I would not be eating any of that stuff because remember all of his companies, or all the food that were coming from the Billy Gates of Hell's factories, all ended up with contaminants, carcinogens, and were dirty, and were the unsanitary procedures that were used. But anyway, does Bill Gates own part of McDonald's? That's 3 minutes of something, so I don't think shall we listen to what he says?
Comes to origins, and a recent newsworthy divorce has created a new pocket of transparency regarding one very particular ingredient source for mega chain McDonald's, and it all ties back to the ubiquitous business figure Bill Gates. Since the news of Bill and Melinda Gates' split was made public, it's easily become one of the biggest divorces ever. That's the sort of thing to expect when the fourth richest man in the world, worth $145 billion, splits from his wife of 27 years. One of the more interesting aspects to the divorce, which became official on August 2, 2021, is that we all got a closer look at the assets up for grabs. And Business Insider reports we now know that Bill Gates isn't just a technology mogul, he's also an incredibly successful potato farmer. Sort of. Gates isn't spending his days doing any intensive labor to harvest potatoes, but NBC quickly uncovered that he's the largest private farmland owner in the United States.
Bill Gates, business magnate, software developer, philanthropist, nation's largest farmland owner? Yeah, you heard that right.
According to Business Insider, he owns 269,000 acres spread out over 18 different states, an acreage more than the total of New York City. Fox writes that 269,000 acres is relatively small when you consider the 911 million acres of farmland available in the United States. But the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates other top owners only claim to have acreage in the 100,000 range, leaving Gates comfortably in the lead. People have wondered if Gates has all of this land as some element of his plan to improve the climate, as well as repair environmental conditions. It seems that his land ownership is much simpler than that, and it's just one of the many financial maneuvers by the billionaire. Gates said of the farmland purchases in a Reddit AMA, "My investment group chose to do this. It is not connected to climate." Gates owns farmland in several states that grow soybeans, corn, cotton, and rice. If you're eating carrots for dinner tonight, there's a good chance it came from his farm in Florida. But it's Gates' farmland in Washington state that's drawing the most attention. NBC reports that the plot is so large, it's visible from space. It's here that potatoes are grown, and these spuds supply the fast food chain McDonald's, where they're turned into hot, salty, and perpetually popular French fries. In 2018, Inc. reported that McDonald's buys 3.4 billion pounds of potatoes per year globally and serves over 9 million pounds of fries daily. They're the biggest potato buyers in the world, according to Taste of Home. Even if Gates isn't responsible for the entire worldwide supply, that's still a lot of fries. According to Bloomberg, Gates' investment firm sold its last shares in the world's largest independent McDonald's franchisee in September of 2020. Gates is also a vocal advocate for eco-friendly synthetic beef, placing him squarely on the outs with the Big Mac. For all of these decidedly broken ties with McDonald's, Gates remains the man behind one of the chain's most popular items. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos.
Wow. Okay. We need not look at that anymore. We all know. I don't have to tell you. You can do your own research. Okay, let's go have a look at Bayer. Okay, this obviously has just come straight up as Bayer Australia for where I am. What are they famous for? Okay. Oh, it's the maker of aspirin. Okay. Alka-Seltzer. So they're a pharmaceutical company. There you go. What has a pharmaceutical company got to do with all of this new foods? A led Bayer Impact Assessment Unit. Leaps by Bayer. What has that got to do with food? And as you can see, nobody. And this came out today or yesterday because it's the 20th. This is America. And nobody has liked this one as yet. I'm probably the first person to be looking at it. So, okay, so we saw what they're famous for. They're famous for those things here. Who owns them? Bayer owns Bayer, a German multicultural pharmaceutical and life sciences company, is one of the largest in the world. They focus on pharmaceutical, consumer healthcare products, agricultural chemicals, seeds, and biotechnological products. Okay, what do they make? They make various fungicides, herbicides, insecticides, and some crop varieties. And we know which one was really, really bad. Who were they sued for? Roundup, causing cancer. Wow. Okay. How many times have they been sued? Over 20,000 lawsuits have been put against them. And yet they're going to be making our food for us, guys. They make products to make crops dangerous to human life, create cancer for the people using the product, and now they're going to be looking after our next food supply. This is insane. As allegedly in its complaints, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world engaged in a series of unlawful acts, including a kickback to doctors and hospitals, making them off-label, downplaying their safety risks. Wow. We know Roundup is one of it. Who's the largest shareholders? To note that hedge funds do not have meaningful investments in Bayer. Oh, BlackRock. Wow. Wow. We can see that the largest shareholder is BlackRock. Wow. So when you think about it, BlackRock are getting into the domestic housing. They've already taken over in America. They've infiltrated here in Australia and picking up a whole heap of products, as in land, housing, mortgages, through Macquarie Bank. BlackRock is through Macquarie Bank and also through, I can't remember the name of that one. I'll try to put it in. And now they're going to get into our food. Wow. I don't know what to say about any of this. Well, anyway, I probably said enough. As you can see, there's an awful lot of horrible things happening in the world right now. Which part of Nestle does BlackRock own? Let's have a look at that. 5%. Wow. Oh, this is really... Is McDonald's owned by BlackRock? No. Vanguard, that's the other company that I was trying to mention, Vanguard, because, on YouTube, lots of advertisements, and I did a video on it, where Vanguard, BlackRock and Macquarie were all trying to get Australians to go into their mortgages or into their superannuation and also investments. So all of those, and to find that they're now going to be looking after our food is really quite alarming and quite daunting when you think of where they're taking over our finances, our housing and our food. What else is there left? Our freedom. That's what they're taking. They're going to take our freaking freedom. But anyway, I've ranted on enough. I'll try to put some of this. You can look at all of this yourself. But please look after your family. Please look after your dear darling animals and look after your children, because it's all about having a good life for the children. We need to protect them and make sure that they're safe. So I'm gonna give Charlie a pat now and finish my coffee, and I'll come back with another video soon. So please, Godspeed to all. Godspeed.
It makes me sick what I do for this shitty planet.